Hello, I want to talk about a thought that I just had to try to explain to the people that are trying to visualize reality in an idealism fashion. That's philosophical idea. Idealism is that consciousness is primary. So I've been talking about the primary and the secondary, the fundamental, primary, potato. See what I'm saying? So, if consciousness is the substance of everything, then the material is an emergence from consciousness. So if God is the consciousness, then the material world is an emergence from God, from the mind of God, and it's actually God's consciousness. So there's not really material. So I see what they're thinking, and it does explain that everything is one, because God is the one that everything is. So then we're all connected and so forth through consciousness. And consciousness is not limited to our brain. And our brain doesn't necessarily doesn't create the consciousness. The consciousness is more than our brain. Our brain doesn't create who we are. And the physicalists argue that the brain does create who we are. Okay, so here's what I'm trying to explain. The brain creates who we are, but it's in a world of quantum oneness where this takes place. The rock is not local. The rock, the information for the rock is throughout the entire universe, like a hologram. And the brain is like the rock. The brain is material. It's atoms and so forth. Okay, quantum oneness. I asked Copilot. I just typed in quantum oneness, because I want to explain that our mind is not contained within the brain. The brain is non-local. Nothing is contained in one thing itself. It's all the oneness of everything. The rock is not the rock without the oneness of everything, so that the rock can be here. Quantum oneness. Quantum oneness is a fascinating concept that combines the ideas from quantum physics with philosophical and spiritual themes of unity. So this is the comments made by AI about my idea. There's not any links to this anywhere else. So it's like I'm coining this term of quantum oneness. Or at least Copilot doesn't know of anybody, it doesn't have any pages to reference. Not even one. In the realm of quantum physics, it suggests that at the most fundamental level, all particles and forces are interconnected. Phenomena like quantum entanglement exemplify this, where two particles become linked such that the state of one instantaneously affects the state of another, regardless of the distance between them. So your brain makes a thought, and the thought is instantaneously everywhere. Uh-oh, they're going to read your brain, read your mind. They already have been. Don't worry. This concept challenges our classical understanding of separate, distinct objects existing independently. That's what I was just explaining. We're talking about quantum oneness. That was from quantum physics. And this section is from philosophical or spiritual perspective, quantum oneness. It can be seen as a metaphor for the interconnectedness of all things in the universe. Does that require a creator being for this to be the case? It doesn't. Does it require consciousness, primarily, fundamentally, for this to be the case? No. This is the basis of where we are. We have no choice. We evolved in this state. We evolved in this quantum oneness. We didn't evolve in a reality where there are separate things. So many spiritual traditions talk about the oneness of existence, where all beings are part of a larger unified whole. This idea resonates with the notion that individual actions and experiences are part of a larger interdependent web of life. It's asking, would you like to dive deeper into the science, philosophical implications, or explore how different cultures interpret this concept? So, my point is I want to go back to something that was just said here. I'll start this.
That isn't true. And you and I both know that. There's tons of research on this. But what's going on is that once you on the neurophysiology of your anatomy, that isn't true.
Okay, Stephen Schwartz is explaining that the mind is not contained within the brain. And listen, he's coming from a consciousness is fundamental perspective, which I disagree with. I don't think there is separate consciousness from physicality. So that's where the tricky part is, because the physicality creates the consciousness, the brain creates the mind, but the brain's non-local. Don't think about the mind, think about the non-local aspect of material world. That's the difference.
On the neurophysiology of your anatomy. That's idealism. With the idea have been a cult we picked up. Yes.
Just a minute.
It's because we have grown up, have been a culture of materialism, with the idea that consciousness is based entirely on the neurophysiology of your anatomy.
Actually, it's the opposite. We've been grown up told that there's a God that creates the consciousness. And they're saying that we're all these materialists. There are not any physicalists of the type that I am yet. I'm the first one that I know of. Because the other physicalists can't get past this God that attacks you when you're close to finding out the truth. So it's stopping progress. It wants to keep us dumbed down, ignorant, dependent on it. I'm liberating everyone from it in a way where we're going to be friends with it, them, the aliens that have the planet under control based on falsehood, claiming that they're the God that created us, claiming that they're us, they're our spiritual self, just to control us. So anyway, he's saying that we're raised in a world of materialism.
That isn't true. And you and I both know that. There's tons of research on this. But what's going on is that once you recognize that there is continuity of consciousness, that the consciousness existed before you incarnated, that an aspect of consciousness, what I call the eternal self, what religion calls the soul, will continue after physical death.
So the difference here, I think, is very important. The idealists, the people that say consciousness creates reality, New Age people say that we're creating our own universe, our own experience. We create it. So they're mixing up the fact that our brain makes the imagery. We're looking at the rock, and I'm saying there's really a physical rock independent of consciousness that's there, and the brain creates a mocked up image, a dreamed up image of the rock. So we're not seeing the actual rock, we're seeing the image that our brain makes. See, that's a different way of explaining the phenomena that we create our reality. They act like the reality's not there unless we create it. I argue that reality is there. And it doesn't matter if we're here. Reality's still going to exist. So a way to express that is if all the beings in the universe that have minds and consciousness were to suddenly die in this thought experiment, so there are no conscious beings in the universe wouldn't just disappear. It's still there, but there's no consciousness. So, like I was saying, I don't think consciousness is fundamental. It's not the substance of reality. Physical reality is the substance of reality. I'm an atheist. So, and it's a war. So anybody that does me wrong is cursed. I'm getting attacked. You know why I felt the attack? I glanced over on my computer screen, and there's a picture of Robert F. Kennedy Jr. He's kind of a scary looking guy. He's a scary man. Like they say he'd put pigeons or whatever in a blender to feed his hawks and show people he would chop up living birds to feed his hawks. I don't know if he has falcons or not. Probably. When I was younger, one of my friends had a sparrowhawk. I don't know what happened to the first one. When I was even younger, my brother, we caught some sparrowhawks, stole them from a nest. So, anyway, he hits a prairie falcon. So I went with him, and they catch pigeons, and they sew their eyes shut with a needle. Oh, I remember my dream about the needle. And they're going to poke a needle into a baby. Horrible dream. There's a baby like strapped into a high chair, and no one's home. I don't know where the parents are. Baby's all alone, crying. And it speaks to me in English. A young baby. And it says my name. And it's like, Steve, look where I'm at. I can't get out. So then I go there and there's somebody with a needle and they're going to poke the baby with the needle. And I remembered I had a dream of a baby, and I wonder if it's me. Somebody pokes a needle through the chest of the baby on one side and pulls the needle out through the other side. A long needle. I don't know if that really happened. See, to control people, they need to have a fear of things. So if they put some fear in the infant at a young age, the infant doesn't even know what it is, but they know what it is, and they trigger the place where in the infant's brain where that experience is. Suddenly the adult human that had that happen as a child is instantly in terror, frozen with fear. So evil minds that control humanity would have humans do things like that to infants. And this is just so that they have this tool to use to control humanity. They just access the place in our brain where we got terrified as a child, and we don't know why we're suddenly not able to function correctly. And then they can laugh at us because we can't function correctly. Shame us. That's horrible. I keep searching for someone else with information on extraterrestrials giving humans visions of the future. I can't find anything. I'm going to see what Copilot says right now. Okay, I typed in, can extraterrestrials give human visions of the future? The idea that extraterrestrials can provide humans with visions of the future is largely the stuff of science fiction, folklore, and conspiracy theory. There isn't any scientific evidence to back up these claims. However, it is a fascinating concept that inspired countless books, movies, and TV shows. Do you find these ideas intriguing, or are you exploring this from a different angle? So, why is there a vacuum? Why is there nothing there when there should be a lot of material there? That makes you wonder, why isn't it there? Well, the controllers that put fear in us just so they can trigger it to control us, they don't want it there. They scare people away. They can't scare me away. They've been trying to scare me away my whole life, and they can't. I was told I can defeat evil in telepathic communication while driving in my hometown years ago. And they told me I can defeat evil. And well, what if I get killed trying? And don't worry, there's 43 others that can. Okay. So, whatever that means, that's what I'm doing. I'm defeating evil. And I'm going to continue to defeat evil forever. Evil is when you do someone else wrong. That's all there is to it. So, the World Fairness Agreement defeats evil on a worldwide basis. And it teaches everyone how to do it and to be a part of the defeat of it. And we defeat it within ourselves. So I say the mantra, I'm not going to do anyone wrong, and I'm going to care about everyone. And then I protect myself from evil with, if anyone does me wrong, I curse them. Have a great day.